Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm very excited for this episode. I've been talking about it for a while at my live streams and maybe in some other videos. I decided to make this vegan and gluten-free chocolate espresso cake because I've been so backlogged with brand collaboration videos and other stuff I've wanted to get done on this channel that I just did not have any time to get a video posted for a 5K subscriber special. This video is broken into 3 different parts. For this first part, you'll see me bake the vegan and gluten-free espresso chocolate cake. In part 2, you'll see me make the buttercream frosting. And then in part 3, you'll see me frost and decorate the cake. I'll cut myself a slice of the cake, give it a try, and I'll also introduce the sponsor of this video. All that being said, let's dive right into the 12 ingredients going into this cake. First up, there's 2 cups of this gluten-free all-purpose flour. I absolutely love the King Arthur Baking Company brand of gluten-free flour. There's also 1 3/4 cups of white granulated sugar, 3/4 of a cup of unsweetened cocoa powder, 1½ teaspoons of baking powder, 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 cup of unsweetened almond milk, 2/3 of a cup of extra virgin olive oil, 3 tablespoons of white vinegar, 2 teaspoons of pure vanilla extract, 1 cup of water, and finally, because this is an espresso cake, I'll be dissolving 4 teaspoons of this espresso powder into the 1 cup of water. Now let's go through the 7 steps to make this chocolate espresso cake. For step number 1, I'll sift these 6 dry ingredients into a large mixing bowl. The ingredients are the gluten-free all-purpose flour, the white granulated sugar, the baking powder, the baking soda, the unsweetened cocoa powder, and this salt, which I forgot to put back. For step number 2, I'll whisk together the extra virgin olive oil, the unsweetened almond milk, the white vinegar, and the pure vanilla extract in a separate mixing bowl. For step number 3, I'll prepare the espresso by first boiling the 1 cup of water in my microwave. I'll put it in the microwave for about 2 minutes and let the water reach a boil, and then I'll dissolve the 4 teaspoons of espresso powder into the water. For step number 4, I'll pour the bowl of whisked liquid ingredients and the 1 cup of espresso into the bowl with the dry ingredients and mix everything together until just combined. For step number 5, I'll evenly divide the cake batter between 2 greased and lined 9-inch round cake pans. For step number 6, I'll place the cake pans into my oven and bake them at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for about 30 minutes. And I'll use a toothpick to check when the cakes are done. What you do is you take a toothpick, you insert it into the center of each of the cakes, and then if the toothpick comes out clean with no cake batter attached to it, that means it's done. And for step number 7, the last step of this chocolate espresso cake recipe, I'll remove the cake pans from my oven and let the cakes cool for at least 1 hour. We've covered all the ingredients and all the recipe steps for this cake, so let's get started with step number 1, which is to whisk together these lovely dry ingredients. Alright everyone, that's it for part 1 of this video. You'll get to see the finished cakes in part 2 of this video starting in just a couple seconds. Hello everyone, here are the two beautiful chocolate espresso cakes. They're a little bit heavier than you might expect. I have a confession to make, however. When these came out of the oven, I was looking at, how high they were and what a stacked cake would look like, and I actually decided to make two more. So I did part one a second time. I've got cakes number 3 and 4 sitting right here. So I'll be having 4 stacked cakes for this chocolate espresso cake. It's time to get on with the buttercream frosting. There's 5 ingredients for the frosting, so let's go through each of them one by one super quickly. First up, there's 2 cups of vegan plant butter. I've let this package sit out at room temperature for a few hours to let the butter sticks soften. One of these sticks is 1/2 of a cup. So there's 4 sticks, which means there's 2 cups of vegan plant butter. There's also 6 whole cups of confectioner's sugar, also known as powdered sugar. I have one bag that's about half full, so I'm looking to wipe out this bag, and then whatever is left that I need for the 6 cups, I'll take from this brand new one. 6 tablespoons of the same espresso powder you saw me put into the chocolate espresso cakes. Definitely beware of this cake if you're caffeine sensitive, because obviously, as you've seen, there is a lot of espresso powder going into both the cakes and the frosting. 4 to 6 tablespoons of unsweetened almond milk. I'll start with 4 tablespoons, and if it's looking like the frosting needs a little bit of thinning out, I'll add 1 to 2 more tablespoons. And finally, 2 teaspoons of pure vanilla extract. This is a very straightforward vegan buttercream frosting recipe. There's only 3 steps. For step number 1, I'll whip the 2 cups of vegan plant butter in a large glass bowl. I'll use my lovely hand mixer with a whisk attachment to whip the butter until it's fluffy. I'm guessing that'll take me about 3 minutes. For step number 2, I'll gradually mix in the 6 cups of confectioner's sugar, 1 cup at a time. And then for step number 3 of this frosting recipe, I'll add the instant espresso powder, the unsweetened almond milk, and the pure vanilla extract to the mixing bowl and whip the frosting until well combined. That's everything for the ingredients and recipe steps, so let's get whipping this frosting. All right, everybody, that was a lot of work, a lot of whipping, whisking, getting everything together in this frosting bowl. I'm gonna close out this part 2. I honestly cannot wait to dig into this cake because I've worked up quite the appetite. So let's go to part 3. It's finally time to assemble this cake. I'm so excited. These are just the most fun cakes to make. I made a stacked cake for my 31st birthday last year, and I also did one for my 1,000 subscribers special. I think that was last October. There is still parchment paper on the bottom of these cakes, so I definitely want to get that off. Just want to be careful not to use too much of the frosting and then not have enough left for the top or the sides of the cake. Oh gosh, you just want it to look so pretty. It's a little crumbly on the edges, but that's okay. Second scoop of frosting, here we go. When in doubt, make extra frosting. I originally was only gonna make half this amount. I'm glad though that I made the batch that I did, because I was like, I'd hate to run out partway through the frosting process. That would really suck. I'm happy with this, so I think I'll move on to cake number 3. Might be leaning a little bit, but overall I think it looks good. Obviously this is a very decadent cake, so you only need like a very tiny slice of this. And then on top of it being very rich, you've got all the espresso in here. I was thinking about calling this an insomnia cake actually, because of how much espresso powder is in here. I think I could stop at just 3 cakes, but since I made 4, I don't see why I shouldn't just put the 4th on top of here. Okay, last one. Here we go, guys. Try to get this as centered as possible. You can always just kind of press down and squish a little bit of the frosting to get it kind of even. I mean, it looks like it's not totally perfect, but that's okay. A little imperfection in a cake is just fine. Oh my goodness, look at this. This cake has to weigh, I mean, I would guess 10, 15 pounds. maybe more. All right, the top is looking good. Now comes, I would say, the more challenging part of cake frosting, which is getting the sides done. The frosting is all done. I used all of that frosting batch. I'm actually kind of surprised about that. The last thing I'm gonna do is to literally top off this cake with some chocolate covered espresso beans, as if this cake does not have enough caffeine going on with it. I'm gonna try to get these evenly placed around the edges. Cute! Oh my gosh, I think that looks so nice. I was thinking of doing a little bit more piping on this, but just to keep it simple, I stuck with the chocolate covered espresso beans and the frosting. I really never get tired of this. I love this, man. I feel like kind of a nerd, but I had to do it. You guys, I got so excited that I accidentally messed up the frosting. Shoot. I hope I can kind of just remedy this. Yeah, it doesn't have to be perfect. But anyways, there you go. Here's the lovely 6K subscriber cake. And now let's get to the sponsor of today's video. It's Cocos Aid. They were kind enough to send me a bread knife that can also be used as a cake knife. Ooh, it's like black and sparkly. The blade pattern reminds me of the Starry Night. This is so pretty. I don't have a knife anything like this. Ooh, and it's cutting really well. I can feel the knife dropping through each of the 4 cakes. Oh, let's see if I can get it out of here. Please work with me, cake. Be good to me. Ooh. I'm gonna try to show this to you and not drop it, but look at this. Does that not look incredible? I'm gonna set it down, like on its side, because I don't wanna risk, you know, it just falling off the plate entirely. You can see the 4 chocolate espresso cakes, and then of course there's the buttercream frosting in between each of the layers, and then the cute little chocolate covered coffee bean to top it off. All that's left to do is dig into this cake and see what it tastes like. Happy 6K subscribers. Thank you so much to all of you for getting this channel to this milestone. It's incredible. Boy, oh boy, that is some cake. I love the flavor of the buttercream. I was a little worried that 6 tablespoons of espresso powder in the frosting would be way too much flavor, but it's not overpowering at all. You can taste it in the cake for sure. It's like the right level. It's not hitting you in the face. This is so dangerous. I could eat so much of this cake. I hope you found this 6K subscriber special entertaining, fun, maybe you learned something new. I'd love for you to check out the 2 stacked cakes that I made for my 31st birthday and for my 1000 subscriber special. I've linked both of those recipes at the end of this video. I'm thrilled to be at the 6,000 subscriber mark, and many of you know that my goal, one of my goals for 2025 is to be at 10,000 subscribers by the end of this year. We're just gonna keep on having a fun time on here. Long form videos, short form videos, and live streams. Before I close out this video, I want to say a huge thank you to Cocos Aid and specifically Esther. I have loved working with you, Esther. You are so sweet, and I'm very happy to have gotten this bread knife to use here in this subscriber special. And with that, take care, my lovely foodies, eat well, and I'll see you in the next upload on this channel. Bye!